Thailand has launched a bold proposal, a $35 billion land bridge project connecting the Andaman Sea to the Gulf of Thailand. It aims to reduce reliance on the Strait of Malacca by offering an overland corridor that lets cargo move between oceans without circling Singapore. The plan includes 2 deep-sea ports, a 90-kilometer rail and highway network, and ambitions to turn Thailand into Southeast Asia's logistics hub. But while the headlines focus on Thailand's concrete, the deeper play isn't about ports, it's about position. And no country understands position like China, which is exactly why, even as Thailand builds, Singapore still holds the trust and back-end advantage Beijing values most. Let's unpack what's happening and why Singapore's role remains essential. First, the land bridge project. Thailand's government expects it to complete by 2039. If successful, it could divert up to 20% of shipping traffic currently using the Malacca Strait. That's a meaningful shift, especially if time and cost savings align. But even Thailand's own transport analysis shows the benefits may be marginal. Cargo would need to be unloaded, moved overland and reloaded, adding handling costs, customs complexity and the risk of delays. It may save on nautical miles, but not necessarily on total transit time. Now here's what's more important, what China thinks. China is Thailand's largest foreign investor and already a major backer of logistics, rail and energy projects across the kingdom. But China doesn't put all its weight behind ports. It plays multiple layers, and Singapore remains one of those critical layers. Why? Because while Thailand is building infrastructure, Singapore has spent the last decade building trust, neutrality, legal clarity and back-end capability. These are not physical assets, they're strategic ones, and they're much harder to replicate. A Chinese EV manufacturer wants to expand regional logistics through ASEAN. The land bridge sounds attractive, but the contracts, the IP structure, the currency flows, the cross-border trade framework, all of that still flows through Singapore. That's the difference between front-end logistics and back-end trust. And China understands that difference. Singapore is still China's #1 trading partner in ASEAN. It's also China's preferred launchpad for outbound investment into the region. That's not because of proximity, it's because of credibility. Singapore is where Chinese firms register subsidiaries, list holdings, settle RMB deals, and conduct arbitration when partnerships break down. So even if containers skip Singapore's port, the value chain still touches Singapore's legal system, banks, and corporate infrastructure. That's the part many miss. Thailand's land bridge might move volume, but Singapore still controls value. Here's what this means for you if you're based in Singapore and work in B2B services, strategy, logistics, or compliance. First, don't fight the land bridge. It's not your enemy. It's infrastructure, not competition. What matters is how China embeds its system behind that infrastructure. That system, legal, financial, operational, still needs a bridge, and Singapore can be that bridge. Second, this is a wake-up call. You cannot rely on geography forever. Ports will be duplicated, routes will be rerouted, but back-end trust, that's earned, not built. This is the moment to double down on the parts of your business China already respects, your clarity, your structure, your execution. Third, collaboration beats resistance. Singapore's professionals can offer services to both sides, helping Chinese firms structure deals that flow through Thailand while anchoring the legal and financial side in Singapore. That's where the leverage is. The real winners are not the countries that build the most lanes, but the ones who write the rules of the road. Singapore doesn't need to fight for cargo, it needs to fight for control. Control of contracts, control of financing, control of trust. And right now, China still puts that trust in Singapore, but it won't last forever. If Singaporeans get complacent, assuming the region will always need us, we risk losing what made us valuable to China in the first place. So stay sharp, understand what Thailand's building, but also understand what China values. And if you want to follow these shifts as they happen with verified insights that go beyond the noise, we've built a private Telegram group just for that. Drop a comment with "in" if you want in. We're not just tracking headlines, we're tracking leverage. And the leverage is shifting right now.